People better pay attention. A major storm is brewing right now. The dollar is collapsing. Hardly anyone is paying attention. We are living through the single biggest monetary shift of our lifetimes, and the media is pretending it isn't even happening.
And the data, Becky, is just, it's good. It's strong.
This isn't some slow academic cycle. It's a controlled demolition of the king dollar. Call it whatever you want. Experts are calling it a weak dollar super cycle. Others say this is the end game, a brand new monetary order, whatever you want to call it. The average American has no clue right now. They have been brainwashed into believing the dollar is invincible, that global elites and their media arms will somehow keep it strong. Meanwhile, the ground is shifting under our feet as we speak. If you bother to look at the data, if you dare to dig in as I have, you'll see it's clear as day.
And the data, Becky, is just, it's good. It's strong.
The dollar has already started a revolutionary transformation. I was having dinner with friends the other night. We were all talking about this. So people have no idea what's coming. And it's critical that you protect your family right now. So let's get into all of the latest news and developments around all of this. But first, let's look at the setup here. The Fed slashing rates last week. Gold at an all-time high. Stocks euphoric. U.S. debt screaming towards $38 trillion. Now, for decades, a strong dollar acted as a headwind for U.S. exports and a gift for importers. But now that the unwind is here, if tariffs smash into a runaway fiscal spending, the dollar could devalue 10 to 15% by mid-2026. That's not volatility. That's an earthquake. And anyone ignoring it will be buried under the rubble. This week, economist Peter Schiff said the collapse will be worse than the 2008 collapse.
You know, all of the too big to fail banks that we should have allowed to fail are now much bigger than they were. The crisis that I believe that we're headed to is not going to be similar to '08, in that '08 was a loss of confidence in mortgages. It's going to be about a loss of confidence in the U.S. government. Not necessarily that the U.S. government's going to default, but that it pays with dollars that have very little value. And so I think this coming crisis is a sovereign debt crisis and a U.S. dollar crisis.
That's terrifying, but we've been saying the same thing here on our show. So what I'm about to show you puts you miles ahead of the herd right now, the sheep. But most people are walking into this storm totally blindfolded, like zombies marching into a war zone with no armor whatsoever. They have no idea. But for those of us who actually see what's coming, this isn't just a danger, it's an enormous opportunity. Because when currencies move, when monetary systems crack, fortunes are made by those who saw it first, as I've said for years. So here's the blueprint on how to protect your family right now and what's coming around the corner. 3 once-in-a-lifetime forces are converging right now. So let's connect the dots for you. Under President Trump's aggressive playbook right now, the dollar isn't just weakening, it's being repurposed on purpose. This is intentional. You need to pay attention to this part of the story because the era of the unchallenged dollar supremacy is over, and the new mission? Supercharge U.S. exports, reclaim manufacturing, and then weaponize American advantages in AI and blockchain. And if you don't understand this 180-degree policy shift right now, you're going to regret it big time. The greenbacks era of like unchallenged hegemony is over. But meanwhile, China and Russia are accelerating de-dollarizations. They're dumping it like a bad habit. Europe teeters on a sovereign debt crisis right now, but refuses to align itself with America's reset. Even the IMF says the U.S. dollar is overvalued by 15 to 20%. Trump's view is pretty simple. A too strong dollar gutted our factories, fed our enemies, made them fat and happy. He wants fair trade, fair currency, fair fight. He wants a weak U.S. dollar. Love it or hate it. So President Trump wants it that way. He said multiple times over the past few weeks he wants a weak U.S. dollar on purpose. He said it out loud at Mar-a-Lago on July 25th. So this is the national policy right now, a weaker U.S. dollar. But did the media tell you this? No, not a word about it. Trump, from everything I have studied, believes that America has been robbed by a strong dollar that kills our factories and feeds our enemies. Peter Navarro warned years ago about this in a book that he wrote called Death by China. That's an overvalued U.S. dollar costs hundreds of billions of dollars in exports annually. At Davos, Trump said the same thing. Quote, "We need a dollar that lets American workers compete not one that hands jobs to China. Stephen Mirren, Trump's Fed enforcer, spelled it out. With $1 trillion current account gap, we need a weaker dollar to restore balance and competitiveness. And the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, has said this. He's been most blunt about it. He says the dollar must support American industry, not strangle it. I mean, they're all on the same page, from the Fed to the Treasury to President Trump. Now, if you're following me so far, you realize that Trump's key people want to manage an orderly weakening of the U.S. dollar. Has the media reported on this? No, I don't think so. He said, quote, strong dollar sounds good, but you make a hell of a lot more with a weak one.
Why has the dollar fallen so much, and are you concerned about that?
Well, I'm a person that likes a strong dollar, but a weak dollar makes you a hell of a lot more money. Now, it doesn't sound good, but you make a hell of a lot more money with a weaker dollar. Not a weak dollar, but a weaker dollar than you do with a strong dollar.
That's Trump's core economic playbook right now. The sooner you can align your family's future to this revolutionary paradigm, the better you'll be, in my opinion. I don't invest in U.S. dollars. And everything I do runs through the filter that the U.S. dollar is being repurposed and devalued to serve American interests, not the globalists, not of the globalists. Now, I know it's hard to see, but it's happening right now. Treasury Secretary Bessent, the man in charge of our country's financials, said, quote, we need to ensure that the U.S. dollar supports American industry, not hinders it. But meanwhile, China has built an entire parallel system away from the U.S. dollar. They built gold-backed commodity exchanges, yuan-settled oil, Shanghai copper pricing, cross-border rails designed to bypass New York. Xi Jinping calls it financial sovereignty. Moscow, shut out by all these sanctions, brags that the West pushed them into a multipolar system. And every move that Russia makes right now is coordinated with China, again, away from the U.S. dollar. Every barrel of oil settled in yuan, every ton of copper priced in Shanghai, every cross-border transaction bypassing New York is another chip out of the U.S. dollar's hegemony. And here's the reality. Trump gets it. So a strong currency doesn't equal a strong country, surprisingly. China proved that by dominating exports for 3 decades. The playbook is clear. And so I put some of the pieces together for you here. Trump, Mirren, Bessent are engineering a controlled weak dollar cycle to supercharge U.S. exports and tech leadership. China and Russia, the other piece of this puzzle, are stripping away the dollar's global dominance. The conclusion is unavoidable. The dollar is going much, much lower. The question is not if, but how fast. So how do you prepare for all of this? Well, we'll tackle that part next. So that's the news update part of today's video. All of these moves right now with the U.S. dollar that the mainstream media is totally ignoring, but the collapse is coming. But I want to talk to you now about today's sponsor, which is tied directly to everything that Trump is doing right now around the U.S. dollar. If you watched Trump at the UN the other day, you saw it. He zeroed in on winning the AI race, the blockchain revolution. He tore apart the climate cult policies that crippled Western energy, and he told Europe to wake up and produce again.
It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion.
Produce. Stop screwing up. Stop closing everything down. Produce. Close your borders. This isn't just a monetary reset. It's a technological tidal wave right now. If you don't position yourself, you're going to get crushed under it. I'm honestly warning you right now to pay attention to what's coming. So billionaire Barry Silbert is warning right now that the timing is explosive.
We all want to move faster. We want to do more. We want to, before the world discovers this, we're all trying to properly position the businesses that we're building, the investing that we're doing before the world wakes up to this amazing thing that's being built.
Yeah, he's a self-made billionaire. He knows what's going on. When J.P. Morgan, the financier who realized that a revolution was underway in the United States in his era, he combined the railways, steel production, oil discoveries into an integrated business model. He became one of the richest men ever. In his time, fortunes were made in railroads, steel, and oil. Everyday people became some of the richest men of all time. That's why so many sharp builders right now are talking about Bitensor and their Tau token. In fact, Barry Silbert, a self-made crypto billionaire, says that Bitensor is like Bitcoin was in 2013. And Silbert himself compares it to Bitcoin in 2013 before anyone cared about it, when it was still under $500. Listen to how, first of all, how Barry pronounces Bittensor. I think he calls it Bitsensor. Bitsensor. I say Bittensor. Listen.
I draw all these parallels to the things I was seeing with Bitcoin back in 2012. I'm now seeing with Bitsensor today.
So the company that I want to tell you about is Next Gen Digital Platforms. Here's their ticker on your screen, NXTDF. Now, this company just went public with a 4-pillar model that fuses AI, decentralization, and compute power with a laser focus on Bittensor or Bitsensor. Now, you can find this company through Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, Schwab, E-Trade, and more. Now, here's what makes them different. NextGen is adding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tau tokens to its balance sheet. But on top of that, it will issue debentures to attract family offices and money managers that own these assets to accept shares of NXTDF in exchange for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tau. In fact, I can actually report some breaking news that just days ago, NextGen announced that it acquired 444 Tau tokens. It's officially part of their balance sheet now. Secondly, NextGen Digital Platforms is looking to begin mining as well. Now, the company is looking at ways to stake, validate, and invest in the Bittensor network, be it through compute power or by investing in the subnets themselves. And NextGen Digital Platforms is also engaged with high-performing teams leading attractive businesses that are building infrastructure for this AI blockchain revolution. They've selected several targets already with the help of expert advisors already appointed to the board. And as I mentioned, NextGen Digital Platforms has purchased 444 Tau tokens, the native digital asset of the Bittensor network. So these tokens were immediately staked with Roundtable 21, one of the Bittensor's top-ranked validators. And the initial purchase generates real-time recurring revenue while directly supporting the security and performance of the Bittensor ecosystem. Now, this milestone marks the beginning of NextGen's deeper integration with the Bittensor ecosystem and reflects their commitment to positioning the company at the forefront of decentralized AI and high-performance computing. By actively participating in the network through their token staking, the validator partnerships, they're taking the tangible steps to unlock new opportunities for growth and long-term value creation. Just think of Bittensor like global AI competition. Miners are the competitors creating AI outputs, and then validators like Roundtable 21 are the judges. And then by staking Tau with a top-performing judge, they earn real-time rewards while directly contributing to the growth and integrity of the overall network. So this is a live revenue stream, aligned with the strategy of building regulated, revenue-driven digital infrastructure right now. And this transaction represents a key step in NextGen's strategy to bridge traditional capital markets with the emerging world of decentralized AI and digital networks. It's a revolution. Now, by staking its Tau immediately, it diversifies revenue streams with a scalable infrastructure-based income source. It positions the company NextGen to expand its validator operations, its subnet development, and other AI-driven opportunities within this Bittensor network. So Bittensor and its token, Tau, is a blockchain project that created a decentralized marketplace for AI, and I've heard some of the most successful blockchain entrepreneurs say that Bittensor is to AI what Bitcoin was for money. So NextGen Digital Platforms, their ticker right here on your screen, is one of the first companies that are focusing on Bittensor. If NextGen Digital Platforms, being this early to this revolution, can integrate its operation to Bittensor successfully by investing in Tau, but also contributing to the network with compute, staking, validating, and investing in the subnets, then the potential is substantial in my view. And that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention today. So guys, do your own due diligence on NextGen Digital Platforms. I know it can be a little heady, but once you start diving into the data like I have, I think you'll be really, really stunned by it. So here's their ticker again on your screen. Right now, they're my #1 Bittensor opportunity that marries AI, decentralization, all on the blockchain. This revolution is happening, folks, right before our eyes. And we'll see you next time, everyone.